We are here with Magic Mike Hamel. Am I saying that right? It's Hamel, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how you doing it?
Hamel, but with an H.
How you doing today, man?
I'm not too bad, man. Just got done with some hard wrestling, team practice, did some mitts this morning, so been a good day, just getting ready for my fight.
Yeah, we're about 2 weeks out. Excuse me. Is the hard work over now?
No, not yet. So I think we're actually 17 days out, and so that puts us 16 days out from weigh-ins. And so I still got about a week and a half of hard work left. I don't really taper off until that Sunday. I'll take the impact down a little bit, so I'm not sparring a week out of my fight or anything like that, but still gonna be getting my heart rate up, still got weight to lose. The hard work is nowhere near over yet. I'm not even peaking yet.
Right on. Well, you're fighting Bruno Souza. He's a training he's a training partner of Lyoto Machida.
So he was a last second replacement.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yep, I was supposed to fight a guy from Cowboys Gym. I said yes to it. He said yes, and I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear that he got injured. I didn't hear any issues. I just got a text from my manager saying, "Hey, Pilgrim's out." And I was like, "Well, they better freaking find somebody."
Yeah.
So within 10 minutes, they sent me that guy. I watched about 30 seconds of one of his fights and said yes. Now we're here.
Alright, and what does this guy bring to the table that could pose problematic?
Those karate guys are always a little tricky, right? They move a lot, they're pretty explosive, they like to backpedal a lot, which actually feeds into what I like to do. I don't really take a backward step, I'm in your face the whole time. So you just gotta close the distance safely with karate people. Keep your chin tucked. Machida's been known to hit people with some pretty crazy shit, and I gotta make sure that I don't get hit with any of that. But besides that, he's a brown belt on the ground, so it's not like he's a joke on the ground either.
Yeah.
He's young. He's young. He thinks he's pretty tough. So I guess we just gotta find out.
Okay, and what do you bring to the table that is gonna pay dividends in this fight and ultimately get you the W?
I don't think people realize how physical I am until they actually get in there with me. I'm a giant 145er. I'm about as big as they come for the weight class. I was a NCAA All-American in college.
Yeah.
Couple-time high school state champ. So my wrestling pedigree is
pretty
high up there.
Yeah.
As far as MMA goes, and I hit pretty stinking hard, but people haven't really seen me throw my hands too much because I'm normally always on top of people. If you can get me off you, if you can solve that riddle, then you got to deal with some power on the feet too. But I'm still pretty young at this sport. I'm still learning a lot as I go. But I think I'm pretty dangerous.
We're 6-2, right? That's the professional record.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And your two losses, you've got one via TKO, KO, whatever you want to call it, and one via armbar?
Yeah. So both of those fights, not to make any excuses and not to take away from my opponents because they got the job done.
Mm-hmm.
But I was dealing with some pretty chronic illnesses that I just didn't get taken care of. I had a lot of blood work issues. I actually had a broken femur and a torn labrum in both those fights.
And you still fought with all that shit going on.
Yeah, I knew my hip was jacked up, but I didn't know it was jacked up that bad. I kind of thought that it was, I've been injured a lot. I had 4 surgeries before I had my hip surgery, so I've had 5 total.
Damn.
And so I kind of was just like, well, it just feels like I'm pretty achy, and it got to the point where it was keeping me up at night. I was losing sleep, and I ended up developing alopecia. Hair started falling out. And then I took those 2 losses, and I've always had a really good chin in the practice room.
Uh-huh.
Like I can eat some shots and still walk forward, and I just didn't have a chin in those 2 fights. I was beating the crap out of Winsky, my second loss that I took, and got hit with an overhand, and it wasn't like a crazy, oh my god, I can't believe he's still walking after that. Like, it was just a right hand on the chin, and I don't remember the rest of the fight. I didn't go out or anything. I think something was jacked up in my head, and ended up getting that fixed. Ended up getting my blood work fixed. Fought again. Beat up a kid from Colombia, and then I ended up getting my hip fixed after that fight. And so this is going to be my first fight where I'm feeling 100% in a really long time.
That's what I was going to ask next. With this camp, injuries, they're a big part of the sport, No fighter really goes in 100%, and if they say they do, they're probably lying, which is probably a good thing. But, you said you're feeling pretty good. Is this the best training camp you've had thus far?
It's been the most different training camp I've had in a while.
Explain. What is different about this training camp?
Normally I'm just aches and pains all the time, like something's bugging me. And I think a lot of that I can attest to how I'm feeling right now. I changed two major things in my life. Well, for one, I guess three. I got married. That takes a lot of stress off your life. I got an awesome wife. She helps cook my meals, keep the house tidy. She helps do all the things that I don't like to do when I'm cutting weight.
Yeah.
She's awesome like that. And then I work with a movement coach, Joey Bellis, and it's not like touch butt in the park like Conor McGregor's guy. it's
no touch butt. Gotcha.
Yeah, so he's just opened me up into a lot of different training patterns. He's changed. He's a good mental coach too. He works a lot with meditation. He's changed the way that I think about my training, right? Because when you grow up in a wrestling community, wrestling family like I did, you go wrestle for a Division I school, like it's just put your head down and one foot in front of the other, grind.
Yeah, grind, exactly.
Yeah, and that's what ultimately led me to my injury. I just ignored it and I just kept grinding. It just got worse, and so he's opened me up to realizing how to open up different parts of my mind and my body, and it's been great. And then the last thing that I changed was I actually hired a nutritionist this fight camp.
Interesting.
So I've been working with him, Dr. Capo Nutrition. He works with a bunch of UFC fighters, and he actually works with a couple guys trying to make the world team for wrestling, which is kind of how he earned my trust. I'm like, it's the top. If the guys trying to make the Olympic team for wrestling are trusting you with their nutrition,
yeah,
I think you probably know what you're talking about.
Just a little bit, yeah.
It's been awesome because it's taken a massive amount of stress off of my training camp, because he sends me my meal plan every single day. Right, so for tomorrow's plan, he'll send it sometime tonight, and it has my breakfast, my lunch, my dinner, my snacks planned out, what time, because he's got my training schedule, so it's even got what time I'm supposed to eat at, and it's got everything that I need down to a gram. So I literally just put everything on a food scale, and I'm like, all right, well, here's lunch.
No shit.
And so it's.
I've always wondered about that. When you hire a nutritionist, like, do they just come to your house and cook your meals for you? So this guy sends you a grocery list, which is what you're going to do after the interview. So
yes.
And then you just cook it down to the specific measurements.
Yeah. So most of the stuff that he has me measure, I measure it raw. Mm-hmm. So like before it's cooked. So for an example, today for lunch, I had 4 ounces of uncooked rice. So I obviously cook it, but I weigh it out while it's uncooked.
Yeah.
And then I got 3 ounces of broccoli, and then 10 ounces of shrimp, and then a half an ounce of olive oil. So that was my lunch.
Right? I'm not going to lie. Even though it sounds healthy as shit, you just made me hungry.
Right?
Wow.
I'm hungry too, and I don't get too much for dinner tonight.
Okay, and you see that, now that we're on the subject of food, right? How do you make 45? Like you said, you're a big guy for the division. Is it just staying to a strict diet? Is there a specific training regimen that you have to keep? Is it difficult?
So this one, the reason why I hired a nutritionist was because it was going to be really difficult if I was doing it on my own. I had surgery, and I had surgery in December. I hadn't fought since September, and I'm still pretty young, and I think I hit another growth spurt, honestly.
Oh shit.
like I'm a late bloomer, and I'm 26 right now, and I put on like 5 solid pounds while I was on surgery. Like not a fat, like just gained some man weight, I guess. And woke up, stepped on the scale, and was like, oh shit, okay, I gotta talk to somebody. And the thought of moving up a weight class never even really crossed my mind because of how I fight. I'm such a bully that I like being the big guy in there.
Yeah.
You
can really tell that in your fighting style too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean that's how I wrestled, and that's how I fight. I don't really know too much else.
Yeah, no backward steps for Magic. All right, I'm hogging things up over here. So, Jonathan, do you have anything for Magic?
Yes, I do. My first question I got for you is what's one thing that is getting you really pumped up for this fight?
I think the thing that's getting me really pumped up is, like I said earlier, I haven't fought healthy in years. And people don't realize how good I've gotten in the gym because I haven't been able to show it. So I've made leaps and gains and all these crazy things that I've learned, and I haven't even been able to show anybody any of them. So I think when I walk into the cage and shit, even if this fight goes 3 rounds, I think people are going to be blown away. I'm going to look completely different.
Yeah, and what's great is your home crowd is going to be supporting you all the way, and they're going to see all the steps that you've taken to get better in your career as well.
No, absolutely, and I've got a really great set of friends and family and local fans, man. Like if I fight local, there's a couple hundred people there for me every single time.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
So it's awesome. I mean, I love stinking fighting in Phoenix. It's it's great. I get all my drunk rowdy college wrestling friends there, and it gets fun after.
Well, my second question I got for you is, of course, I noticed that you're a wrestler. With your collegiate background and all. I also noticed that half your wins are from TKOs. Do you plan on wrestling this fight, or do you want to keep it standing up, or does it matter?
I always say when I go into a fight, hey, I'm going to work on my stand-up. I'm going to get better in there on my feet. And I see openings, and it's like I can't even control it sometimes. Like I remember in my last fight, I rocked the guy hard with the left cross, and I saw his eyes roll back in his head. And then he threw something, and the next thing I knew, I was on top of him. And I'm a very conscious thinker. Like I'm always mentally in the fight. Like people always talk about how I just go into a zone, and really the only time I go into a flow state is when I see takedowns. And a lot of times it's just my body reacting to a instinct that I've done since I was 4 years old. And so, but when I get on the ground, I'm not gonna sit there and hump your leg. I'm gonna drop heavy hammers on top of you.
Nice. I like that.
I think that's why I've gotten a lot of TKOs in my career. And when I was an amateur, I put a couple people to sleep on top of them.
Oh wow. Yeah. It like a lot of the fighters that I've seen. I'm always wondering, like, whenever they're doing really great with their strikes, they always go for the takedown, and I think you just kind of really, really hit the nail on the head there, with it kind of being like muscle memory in a way.
Oh, yeah, muscle memory is the best way to describe it. That's what it is. I've done it so long, and I've had things like that where I'm hitting them like I just said, and just is what it is. But, that's one of those things that, too, goes away with time and experience. I'm getting every day I train, I get a little bit better, I get a little more comfortable in a certain area, and so I don't have, like, now I'm at the point where I don't have to rely on my wrestling. I'm comfortable enough on my feet with anybody. But if I see that opening, probably 9 times out of 10 I'm going to take it.
Awesome.
Can y'all hear my dogs?
Oh, yeah.
Don't worry, man. I'm surprised mine's being quiet right now.
All right, Jonathan, you got anything else for Magic?
I've got one more question for you. Well, of course, last question. What do you like to do in your spare time when you're not having to, go full 100% in training?
Oh, get out of the city, man. I don't know if you guys know this. I grew up in Wyoming.
Yeah, we know.
So I grew up hunting every single weekend or getting in the mountains, going snowboarding. So like this last hunting season, I got the chance to go back to Wyoming, and my dad and I put a bison down outside of Yellowstone.
That's tight.
So going and getting in the mountains where there's no cell phone service, taking the dog, the wife up on a hike, camping, any of that. I mean, I love all that, right? Going, grabbing a 30-pack, grabbing some hot dogs, and heading into the wilderness.
Well, next, where was the invite? Where was the invite?
I know, right?
But so I mean, that's what I look forward to. We've actually got a camping trip planned right after this fight. Gonna head up to Flagstaff and get out of this place for a little bit. That's kind of where I do my unwinding.
Do you hear that, Jonathan?
Yes.
After the fight, he's going to Flagstaff. Where are we going after the fight?
Probably back to our house.
No, nuts. We're planning a camping trip to Flagstaff. Follow along, fool.
Come on.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're all. Yeah, dude, I completely forgot about all that. It's been nuts over here.
That's awesome.
All right. Well, you got anything else for Mike?
No, sir. I am all good with my questions.
Okay. Now we know you got to get to the store. You got to get your groceries. You got to get some food. But one more question I got for you. Okay.
Yep.
How do you get it done, and in what round?
Ooh.
The dogs are dying to know.
Second round TKO.
Second round TKO. I like it. I like it.
He fades in his fights.
So we're thinking the end of round 2?
Yeah, he fades in his fights and I don't. I'm a bad matchup for you if you get tired in there, so.
All right,
I think about halfway through the second round, he's going to be thinking for a way out.
Oh, make sure you give it to him. Make sure you give it to him. All right, I'm going to go ahead and give you, as long as you want, to go ahead and thank your sponsors, training partners, whoever you want to thank or give shout-outs to. The floor is yours. Never mind the dogs.
All right. Yeah, so I want to start off. I mean, I already talked about Joey Bellis. He's been awesome over at OPT Fitness. I'd also like to give a shout out to Citizen CBD. They've been behind me for almost 2 years now. I use their products every day. It's helped a ton. X Endurance, they're a supplement company. They're all safe sport tested, so you don't got to worry about popping any drug tests. They've been fueling me for a while as well. And Monster Health and Wellness. Her name's Carly. She's awesome. She's one of the main reasons I came back from my hip. She treats me with cupping and deep tissue massage and all the good stuff. And then I got to give a sponsor. I actually just picked them up as Arizona IV Medics. So it's a local IV place. They'll come right to your house. I've used them before. I remember a couple summers ago, I was celebrating after my buddies just graduated college and woke up the next day, did not feel the best. Called them. They literally came over, gave me an IV while I was in the pool.
Oh shit, that's tight.
Yeah. Right? It's a way to do it. So yeah, a big shout out to all those guys, and that's I think. Oh, obviously in my team at the MMA Lab.
Hell yeah.
We've got a stinking house full of killers.
You guys just picked up a win tonight on Contender Series.
Yes, sir. And don't tell me how Hunter's fight's going because I paused it to do this.
Oh, see, I just put it on mute, buddy. You got to get with the times.
No, I gotta sit down. My palms are sweaty just thinking about it. I don't like watching my teammates fight, man. It makes me more nervous than when I fight.
You'll be okay.
Right? But so I gotta give a shout out to the lab. We're the best team, and we're going through a little bit of a transition. And right now, our striking coach decided to go to another gym, and it was a rough transition for some. But I think in the long run, it's made our team stronger, and those guys are my brothers and sisters. I'm proud to be a part of it.
Hell yeah, and we love to hear that shit, man. MMA Lab, that's a good gym. It's one of the better gyms in the world, not just the country, in the world. The MMA Lab produces some top tier talent, and you're definitely training with some of the best in the world over there.
Yes, sir. Yes, I am.
All right.
Well, hey, I appreciate you guys having me on, taking some time out of your night to think about me.
Absolutely, and we're gonna be down there. We're gonna be down there on the 25th. So we're gonna be down there for weigh-ins. We're gonna be looking for you, man. We're gonna be looking for you.
Give me a shout out, man.
You got it, sir. Well, you have yourself a great night. We'll see you on July 26th over at the Comerica Theater. That's LFA 72 Magic Mike Hamel. Thank you so much. Have yourself a good night, and we'll talk to you here in a few weeks.